The first baptizing at Aylsham is recorded thus: September the 13th, 1798. John Webber, Sr., John Webber, Jr., William Brown, John Wilbow, and Mary Gunstone were baptized by Mr. Fuller of Kettering at Aylsham Ferry. To me, there seemed to be great concourse on that weekday, dressed, I believe, in a jacket, with a boy's turned-down collar. I attended the service previous to the ordinance, but all remembrance of it is gone from me. My thoughts were in the water, sometimes with my Lord in joy, and sometimes with myself in trembling awe at making so public a confession. There were first to be baptized 2 women, Diana Wilkinson and Eunice Fuller, and I was asked to conduct them through the water to the minister, but this I most timidly declined. It was a new experience to me, never having seen a baptism before, and I was afraid of making some mistake. The wind blew down the river with a cutting blast as my turn came to wade into the flood, but after I had walked a few steps and noted the people on the ferryboat and in boats on either shore, I felt as if heaven and earth and hell might all gaze upon me, for I was not ashamed there and then to own myself a follower of the Lamb. My timidity was washed away. It floated down the river into the sea, and must have been devoured by the fishes, for I have never felt anything of the kind since. Baptism also loosed my tongue, and from that day it has never been quiet. I lost 1,000 fears in that river lark, and found that in keeping his commandments there is great reward. It was a thrice happy day to me. God be praised for the preserving goodness which allows me to write of it with delight so long afterwards. Many days have passed since then. Many changes I have seen, yet have been upheld till now. Who could hold me up but thou? In the Aylsham vestry, in the extremely gentle and cordial companionship of the pastor, I spent a very happy evening, which I recollect was very cold, so that a peat fire, whose white appearance I still remember, was needed to warm the room. Mr. Cantlow was for some time a missionary in Jamaica, and is mentioned 3 times in Hinton's Life of Nib. For 32 years this excellent man resided at Aylsham, and was pastor of the church till age enfeebled him, and he welcomed our worthy student Mr. Wilson as his successor. He was great at giving the soft answer which turneth away wrath. He was beloved by his people and universally respected in the village. His death serves as a landmark in my life, reminding me that the days are long past since I was generally spoken of as the boy preacher. One correspondent kindly trusts that I shall be strengthened under the infirmities of my declining years, which kindly wish I gratefully acknowledge. Mr. Stevenson, in the Reverend C. H. Spurgeon, his life and work, makes it out that I joined the Baptist Church a year before I was baptized, but it was not so. I never dreamed of entering the church except by Christ's own way, and I wish that all other believers were led to make a serious point of commencing their visible connection with the church by the ordinance which symbolizes death to the world, burial with Christ, and resurrection to newness of life. That open stream, the crowded banks, and the solemn plunge have never faded from my mind, and have often operated as a spur to duty and a seal of consecration. From henceforth let no man trouble me, for he who first saved me afterwards accepted me, spirit, soul, and body, as his servant, in token whereof this mortal frame was immersed beneath the wave. The outward sign has often served to bring vividly before mind and heart the spiritual meaning, and therefore it is dearly loved, for his sake who both ordained the ordinance and himself submitted to it. I am indebted to Mr. Wilson for the following note, which reminds me of an excellent companion I had almost forgotten. Mr. W. H. Cantlow, a worthy Baptist deacon at Ipswich, well remembers when a boy at school, walking with Mr. Spurgeon from Newmarket to Aylsham, a distance of 8 miles, to be at the baptism. He says, I often think of the earnest talks he had with me, and always remember one remark he made on our way to the weeknight service about the need of obtaining spiritual food during the week, as it was so long to have to wait from one Sunday to another. The recollection of the service at the riverside is fondly cherished by several still living, who rejoice that they were there. But the most precious memory of that day is the prayer meeting in the vestry in the evening, where Mr. Spurgeon prayed and people wondered and wept for joy as they listened to the lad. One may be excused for envying those who were there. In front of the new schoolroom adjoining the chapel is the following inscription. This stone was laid on September the 19th, 1888, by Mr. G. Apthorpe in memory of the late Reverend W. W. Cantlow, who, while pastor of the church, baptized the Reverend C. H. Spurgeon at Aylsham Ferry on May the 3rd, 1850. Mr. Cantlow's grave is only a few yards off. Mr. Wilson also explains our picture and adds an amusing story. In the view of the ferry, the chaise and cart are waiting to cross the river by the ferry boat. One old lighter is rotting away in the water, and another lies high and dry under repair. The box is for keeping eels until they can be sent to market, and the long pole is for crossing the river in the small boat, which is also to be seen if you look for it. The late Vicar of Aylsham, a very solemn man, meeting a deacon of ready wit at the ferry, began to find fault with a recent baptizing there. Said the vicar, I suppose this is the place where the people came crowding the other Sunday, showing the little respect they had for the Sabbath day. There was indeed a great crowd, replied the deacon, but they were all as still and attentive as in the house of God. Is it true that the man J.S. was baptized? Inquired the vicar. Yes, quite true, said the deacon, and he seemed to be full of joy at that time. What? Exclaimed the vicar. A man who never went to school and cannot read a word? How much can he know about the religion he came here to profess? Well, answered the deacon with a smile, very likely the poor man knows little as yet. Still, he told us how he found the Saviour and became happy in his love. But, added the deacon, do not you, sir, christen little children, declaring that you make them children of God, while you are perfectly aware that the children know nothing at all.